So in this video, I'm going to do a letter from Elizabeth to Jane, discussing, her newfound feelings towards Darcy in the third volume. I kind of wanted to write about this because for the first time in the story, well, this was after she had already gone to Pemberley. She had already learned about how he was, with family matters from, his servant, Miss Reynolds. This is after she had already learned that it really was Darcy who found Lydia and Wickham, and it really was Darcy who paid off Wickham's debts and paid off for their marriage. This is really the first time that you see where she doesn't really tell Jane how she feels about somebody, and I think that's really because she is very insecure about herself. She feels like she isn't worthy for Darcy anymore, especially now that she is in love with him and that she would say yes to his proposal. She's really insecure in the fact that she doesn't really deserve Darcy. Even in his first proposal, he was saying, hey, you don't essentially deserve me because your family acts crazy, you act crazy, and I am way above you in social status, and I shouldn't even really be involving myself with someone like you. So in this letter, she really will, just be opening up to her sister. My dearest Jane, I grasp this pen and paper with no real knowledge of how to begin this message, but with the earnest feeling that I must write to someone, for my mind has been in a state of engrossment. Though these words may never grace the sight of your eyes, I know you, who has always been the kindest and gentlest reflection of my perspective, will read them with utmost attention, though I scarce can bear to mark them. Perhaps you will laugh or be dismayed that all thoughts of mine have been directed towards Mr. Darcy. Yes, the very man whose pride and demeanor I once despised, and whose disposition I determined to fully comprehend. This is a truly mortifying revelation, that I, who prided myself on discernment, was in hindsight so entirely mistaken. The humiliation at each remembrance of my past prejudices has strangely employed a sense of gratitude, for it has opened me to how blinded by vanity my eyes have been, and how it has led to an undeserved sense of partiality against Mr. Darcy. When recollecting his conduct during my visit at his Pemberley estate, the civility to which he showed my aunt and uncle, his attentiveness towards myself, and his apparent desire to induce pleasure, I am filled with admiration that I can neither repress nor understand wholly. And to think that he conducted himself so modestly in the silence that he maintained regarding Lydia's elopement, the gentleness which he acted, the consideration of these has caused my heart to overflow. Generosity, kindness, and honorability are evident as the sun on a sunny day in Mr. Darcy. And to think I once found pleasure in his humiliation. Oh, to speak to you without doubt, to see goodness in every creature much as you do yourself would result in your insistence that I am foolish to reproach myself to this degree. There is not thought I have in Mr. Darcy that is without emotion. I shall deserve his criticism of my past conduct, but I do not place confidence in my pride to bear his forgiveness. Despite this, I no longer believe I could refuse the light in which he once looked upon me in, for such abhorrence which stricken me. To formulate these thoughts onto paper, thoughts I never planned on confessing even to myself, is exhausting. I am tempted to erase such documentation for the contradiction of my own character that it laminates. Still, I shall keep this letter, for it holds a felicity in which I have never known, and shows how capricious a heart can be. Perhaps I shall expose myself one day with the reveal of this letter, and we shall rejoice together at my own foolishness. Your loving sister, Elizabeth.